Welcome back to the vendors table, ladies and gentlemen. I'm MC Midday. Today I'm joined by a couple planning their wedding, Ansbert and Nerteley.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys for being here. How you guys doing?
Good, thank you.
Good. Yes, you're in the process of planning your wedding. You're about what? 6 months out, 7 months out.
Yeah, 7 months. Yeah.
Yeah, and you started planning 4 months ago now.
Yeah.
And you've largely got everything sorted.
Almost everything.
Wonderful. That is some going. So, did you know? In fact, you know what? We'll get to that. We're gonna play a game.
Okay.
So we're gonna play. We're gonna play guess the vendor.
Okay.
So I'll give you clues.
Okay.
And then you've got to guess which vendor I'm talking about. Obviously against each other.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. We like competition.
Completely competitive here.
Yeah, we're gonna get the competition going. So each clue that I give you, so each answer is worth 5 points.
Okay.
For every clue that I give you, 1 point is taken off that. And you can only answer once per clue.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
Got it?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, cool. First clue is I require certificates for my equipment.
DJ?
Correct.
Oh my god.
Straight off the
never mind.
bat. Straight off the bat. Okay, Natalie, 5 points. 5 points. Okay. Next vendor. I spend majority of the day on my feet.
Coordinator? Planner?
Incorrect. Wrong.
Oh.
MC.
Wrong.
Photographer.
So that's wait. One guess per clue. One guess per clue. So you said coordinator, you said MC. They were both wrong.
Okay.
Next clue. I usually work with one or two others, but can also work alone.
Photographer.
Correct. What were you gonna guess?
I was gonna say videographer next.
Okay, photographer. So that's 9 points now.
Oh.
Answer, man. We got to pull one back here at least. Okay, cool. Which one are we gonna give you guys? Okay. I arrive early in the morning.
Makeup artist.
Wrong.
Hairstylist.
Wait, another clue.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. It's the
Okay.
competition coming through.
It's coming through. Okay, so both wrong. So we'll go to the next clue. So this is for 4 points now. My work is often finished in the morning.
Hairstylist.
Correct.
Oh my god. And I was gonna say cool.
So that's what 13 points.
Yeah. So I can't come. Is it 5 questions?
No, it's just the 3.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So that was done. But you know, the house wins. The house wins.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, cool. So let's get into it. So you guys planned the wedding yourselves, yeah?
Yeah.
Wonderful. How's that been?
I've enjoyed it. I don't want to speak for you,
Yeah,
isn't it?
no,
Like,
no,
if you
no.
haven't enjoyed it, like, be honest.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like, it is a lot,
Mm.
but I think because I kind of know what we want in terms of our wedding day, it's been a lot easier.
Okay.
But because it's such a new area, obviously we're only doing this once.
Mm.
It's quite difficult to kind of gauge where we need to get certain things from.
Yeah.
Budgeting and all of that kind of stuff. We had no clue at the beginning. Yeah, we clearly didn't have a clue.
How did you even go about setting a budget at the start? Because obviously, like you said, it's something you've been doing for the first time, and you haven't really got an idea on like how much things actually cost.
Yeah.
I think we didn't really set a budget, if I'm honest.
Really?
Yeah, I say Nerteley's the one that wanted us to kind of set a budget.
Okay.
And I guess at the beginning, I was probably like, oh, we're going to spend this. Like, I saw a ballpark figure,
Mhm.
but I thought, let's kind of just be free with it in a way. So I didn't put down a number.
Okay.
But I guess as we've been going on, then I can see we're kind of creeping up to a certain number.
Okay.
So then, yeah, from there I've been more better planning, more
Okay.
catching up to where Nerteley is with her planning excellence. But yeah.
But I think the other thing is, I think as much as I didn't really know how much to kind of budget for particular things, so my friend got married earlier last year. So as soon as we got engaged, like I had that conversation with her. So she was kind of giving me figures to kind of be aware of.
Okay, fine.
And I think the first conversation that we had regarding budgets, and I told him certain prices, he was like, "Really?" Like didn't, and I said, "When you've got time, please just look into how much certain things cost, because it's not. I'm not just creating these figures. This is actually how much it will cost."
What was the most surprising cost? For both separately?
What was yours?
Probably because I'm kind of in the field of videography.
Okay.
Photography, probably that. I mean, I knew it was going to cost a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably.
Really?
Yeah. But it's
Okay.
justified because that's the thing that we can.
Yeah,
look
that's the
back
one
at.
thing you keep forever, in it.
Yeah.
And obviously, the price is determined very much in that field by the quality.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What about you? Same? Or...
Funnily enough, I'd say most things, but only because when I think about it, like certain family events that we've had in the past, like there's a lot of people in my family that do certain things, so everyone kind of comes together and helps. So I've never really known how much certain things cost.
Fine.
One thing I do say, the venue, because some venues include something, some venues don't, and then by the end of it, certain things are creeping up, like depending on what you want.
Yeah.
So I think venue prices, I was just like, wow. In London, outside of London, quite a lot.
Yeah.
The other thing I think is cakes as well.
Okay.
But I've learned a lot during this process that what we think like vendors are doing isn't actually all they're doing.
Yeah,
and that their prices reflect that. Like we need to understand that there's a price for a reason, and it's quoted at that price for a specific reason.
Okay, that's interesting.
So cakes, definitely, when you think about they have to make the cake and then the actual decorative part of it as well. It's not simple. So it makes sense why cake prices are the cake prices. Yeah.
Okay, I like that perspective. Okay, so surrounding numbers, like, so obviously you've booked majority of your vendors.
Yeah.
So compared to the original, like, not budget, but the number that you thought, okay, this is probably what we might end up spending, how does that final number compare to the original number?
I mean, I'd say it's gone up, but I think what helps is that you pay things in installments.
Okay.
And I think that was what I was probably like, when I saw the cost before, I was like, yeah, it's quite a lot. But when you, so one of the things I did, we got this spreadsheet, that Nerteley put together. But then the next section is like, when things are due.
Okay.
So that helps me see, okay, in March, April, these things are coming out. And for me to see that helps, so I can see in terms of budgeting. So it's not as scary when you know, okay, next month you're going to be paying that month.
Yeah.
Except for the very last month.
Yeah.
Quite
a lot of costs.
The month before. Oh, wow.
Yeah. But you can pay stuff earlier as well, which kind of softens.
That's true.
It softens the blow.
Yeah.
Theoretically, you're still paying the same amount, but like just seeing that chunk leave your account at once.
Yeah. I think the other thing that you were worried about is because I think, you said about paying in installments is that we've got, a budget and it has to be paid now. And I think there was that misunderstanding that actually, no, it doesn't have to pay now. We pay a deposit, obviously, but then you pay it off later. So that made it a lot more easier to kind of deal with. But the budget that we originally set was basically nonsense. Essentially. It's nonsense.
We was talking before about wedding insurance.
Yes.
So you said you had to adjust that because the numbers had gone up so much more than you thought it was going to be. So what, did you set that? Did you get your wedding insurance? How early in the process did you get it then?
I think 2 months. 2 months. So when we booked We booked something, and I think it was one of the biggest costs, and then that's when they said it's advisable to get the insurance out. So it was about 2 months after.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
What was the first vendor that you was like, or thing that you was like, okay, we need to get that booked?
The venue.
Venue, yeah. Okay, yeah. So that determines. Did you do? This is a date want to get married, and then try and find a venue, or a month and then find a venue, and then.
I think we knew we wanted to get married this. Let me say the year. To get married this year. So that was all in. We didn't know when or what, but we knew we wanted to give it like maybe like some time. So we was thinking like, let's look at the venues. Look at the venues first. If the prices are good at the time that we want to get married, then we kind of take from there. But yeah, it was definitely trying to find the right venue.
Yeah.
I'd say
that was also you guys had a lot more freedom than I think, because some people are like, I want to get married in this month, and you've got like 30 days.
I don't think that was important to us. I think it was more, just looking at venues, how we felt at the venue, if they had a decent, like obviously not. I didn't want to get married in December or anything like that, but. Just how we felt more. It wasn't about let's get married in August because August is the month of whatever. Like it was nothing like that. It was just And I think another thing was a time where nothing else was happening closer to it. So no birthdays, anniversaries, things like that. Just something that we could sort of
stand alone.
Yeah,
that's nice. I like that. How long did it take you to find a venue?
Okay, let's say we started in October last year.
Yes, there was a lot of I call it desktop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Searches, yeah, and then we broke it down to about 4 or 5 venues.
Yeah. Okay.
And then saw 2, and I think one of them we were like definitely. Yeah. The other one was a bit problematic. We loved the other one. Yeah. The only problem was you had to use their recommended suppliers for a lot of things, including DJ. So I was like, I was like, no.
Really?
Yeah, it's very odd. It was just like, really?
And I think it finished late. I'm sorry, finished early.
Quite early, yeah. And they will give it we'll have someone that will be able to cater to. No.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, lovely venue, but
too restrictive.
So that's probably what, 2 months it took.
Yeah, about 2 months.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Yeah, I didn't even know that. I thought they only had sort of recommended suppliers that you need to use for catering. Obviously, is one that a lot of them have. And actually, that's the only one that's the only usual one.
Yeah, I think that's what threw us off a little bit. Yeah. It's the DJ. So you have to use their supplier.
When you were thinking about booking vendors, what were the things that made you go with somebody over another?
Do you know what? Rapport is probably the main thing.
Yeah.
Because just having a conversation with them on the phone or meeting them in person, it just helps. Mm-hmm. Obviously the quality, because everyone is really good at what they do. But just having that everyone everyone's good at what they do. But just having that rapport really helped. Like I guess for me as well, like if I speak to, because we kind of had different what's the word I'm looking for?
Conversations.
Yeah, we had different conversations, and then for me to speak to someone, just get that rapport really helps. I'd say that's the main thing. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, I think that does have a like being able to let somebody, and obviously because you're spending time with them on the day.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, and there's obviously these vendors you're going to spend a lot more time with directly on the day.
Yeah.
Like makeup artist, your MC probably you need to know well if it's not like somebody like a family friend or whatever. Coordinator for sure, because they're going to be literally for the whole day. Photographers, videographers. Whereas like caterer, you might not actually see them on the day, but still having a good relationship with them.
Yeah.
It makes it.
Was that for you as well?
Yeah, I think you have some sort of idea. Obviously, do your research and stuff. Make sure that they are of good quality, and then it kind of goes from there. Because again, there are people that are probably very good, but they don't fit what you want. Like, they don't fit your personality
I hear that.
or like the style
Mm-hmm.
that you're going for your particular wedding day. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean they're not good. It just doesn't mean that they fit.
They're not
what
for
you
you.
want. Yeah.
I hear that. I think that's very important, because there's some people that sometimes they might get like hung up on like a particular vendor, but that vendor doesn't fit the style of their, like a photographer, for example, that mainly has like a catalogue of like these bright pictures, open airy, and your wedding is in like a castle.
It's different.
You're forcing it. But because people are caught up in it, no, I want that photographer. It's like, but yeah, no, it's good that you're thinking about it that way. I think then, because I always think it's weird that you're literally putting together a whole team of like strangers basically to come and deliver on your day, which I don't know what other industry that happens in.
Does that. Say another thing, actually, just as you said, strangers. So another thing that was quite important for me was to also not necessarily, it doesn't have to be, but people that know, vendors that know each other, that have worked well with each other before.
Yes.
I think that's helped a lot. So giving options in terms of, you know, have you worked with this person before? Oh yeah, that person's amazing. That person's great. And it's like, okay, cool. Okay. Then the phone call will happen, because usually it's just background research. Find out if the vendors that we've booked have worked with the person. If vendors don't tend to say the person's bad, but I can tell. I'm quite an observant person, so I can tell by the instant response that you're not feeling the person. So, but luckily for us, like they've all worked with each other.
Okay, fine.
All know each other. All get on.
Yeah. So, I think that makes it a whole lot easier. I know that if I go to a wedding and I see a DJ that I've worked with before, photographer, videographer, I'm like, okay, perfect. Yeah. Because like, I don't have to tell them stuff like, oh, this is how I like it. They just already know. It's like that's one less thing I've got to worry about.
Exactly. Yeah.
But how do you work out? Or you just by asking them? How do you work out like if they've worked with somebody before, or
just asking them? Sometimes they ask us. Sometimes they say, "Have you booked this person? Have you booked that person?
Okay,
who did you book?" Like they'll outright ask.
Yeah, I always ask about DJ.
Oh, really?
That's like the person will be working closest with.
That's true.
So I think it's always important to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what items are still outstanding?
Drinks.
Oh yeah.
Just like the drinks.
Okay.
Drinks.
I need to sort out my suit. My suit. I need to pick my groomsmen as well.
Oh, you still not done the groomsmen, no?
Yeah, I'm still. That's my task for the next month or so. But I've got people in mind.
Okay, fine. So. Have you set a number of groomsmen and bridesmaids?
So I've got 5 plus 1, including my niece. She's younger. Oh. Not that young. She's 11, but she can't be a flower girl.
Yeah, okay. So, too big for flower girl.
Yeah. So I've got 6, including her.
Okay, cool. So are you gonna match, or
depends? I'm looking at like maybe 5 or 6.
Okay.
But I guess for me it's just, can they help me on this journey as well, and after as well?
Yeah.
How close are they with both of us as a couple? So. Yeah,
I think that's important. I think it's always tough. I think like obviously it's tough picking a bridal party anyway. Yeah. But then when it's like, obviously some people are like, no, I need the numbers to match, so like for pictures or whatever. But then you might either be forcing people in just to build up the numbers, or excluding people that you actually would have really wanted in just to make sure you get the numbers. Yeah. So you guys are just going, these are the people that I want. Yeah. And then
I think I knew who I wanted, prayed about it, and then I'm just and they know Ansbert very well. They've rooted for us from the beginning, so I think that's what's important for us, people that are actually for us as well, that are going to stand by us, stick by us, support us all the way, pray for us, all of that.
Because they're gonna be there for you, especially on the day as well.
Exactly.
But then also you want them there going forward as well. You said you're doing your wedding website.
Yeah.
Tell me
so,
about
It's his remit.
my task. So I've been in charge of getting the videographer, photographer, doing the website as well. We're both sharing the design of the invitations and the save the dates.
Okay. Are they paper or electronic?
We'll do
Majority will be is it electronic? Is that what they say?
Yeah.
And then I think for like older generation will do the paper.
Okay,
I
fine.
think that's what they're used to.
Okay.
Or some of them are.
So I've been putting our website together, getting the right pictures. Almost there. I think I've got to a good place. Just waiting for feedback.
User acceptance testing.
Literally, that's how he sent me an email. I was like, okay, is this work related or wedding related? Please send your comments if you've got fish to discuss.
So, no, it's going good though.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Done a great job.
Yeah,
great job.
Great job.
Yeah. Nerteley, she's gonna do the invitations because that's what Nerteley does.
Yeah, I like doing all this personalization stuff.
Nice. So it looks like then when you split tasks.
Yeah.
How did you decide on who's going to do what?
Well,
how did we decide though?
Okay, I think in the beginning, when we was looking for the venue, that was one of the main tasks we're doing. I think I was probably getting too involved, and I was probably thinking like we have to do everything together.
Okay.
But I could see that there was certain things that Nerteley can do better or lead, and there's certain things I can do better and lead. So I think we got to a point where it's like, okay, if the things that I quote unquote care about more, like the videography, let me take control of that, or let me, run with that. But if it's like other things, I still want to know what's happening, but like Nerteley just drives it.
Okay, fine.
And I think once we got to that point, obviously, there's a few bits here and there, but once we got to that point, it just helps us kind of get on with it. But overall, like Nerteley is driving.
Okay, fine.
Let's be honest. Nerteley's
lead
driving,
delegator.
you know.
So I think at the beginning, Ansbert was a lot involved, and I think it got to a point where I was just like, I think it would be easier for me to deal with this on my own. But one thing that we do is if he's got his task, I've got my task, we do talk to each other. So
of course,
I'll say, this is what I'm thinking, what do you think? And he'll do the same.
Okay.
But I think at the beginning it wasn't working when we were both trying to figure it out. It was just not. And obviously, I think for most brides, they just kind of get on with it. And their husbands-to-be will just kind of chip in where they need, or just turn up on the day for some.
Yeah, literally. For some
but that's not
grooms,
what you were trying to do, is it? You were trying to like very much be involved from the get-go.
Yeah.
So.
But I think it's good still. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
That is good. Because usually brides, usually grooms are, well, I say usually, from what I've heard anyway, grooms are like very
chilled.
Yeah, just like passengers. And disappear. So, and obviously you got to pick if you've got two people with different views or different ideas of how this thing is going to come together, you kind of need to pick your battles in terms of, okay, these are the things that I really feel strongly that I want to have an input on. And then your side. So I'm guessing for you, obviously, photography and videography.
That was definitely, I knew from, I was like, listen, like I would see certain vendors and be like, oh, this guy's great, what do you think? And obviously, he would have to take a look at them, but that's not my world.
Yeah.
So there's specific things that I'm not, like, I couldn't call a photographer or videographer and ask certain questions because I wouldn't know what to ask them.
Yeah, it's good to have the insider. It makes that process a little bit easier, I think. What advice would you give to like couples that are like starting on planning their wedding?
I'd say enjoy it. Enjoy it and just remember why you're doing it. Like, as they say, there's a marriage after it. So just remember, like, onwards you're gonna have like all the time together. So enjoy the process, but don't get too. You're gonna get annoyed with each other, but don't let that overtake everything. Because at the end of the day, there's more to come after that.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
Definitely.
Enjoy
Okay.
it.
It's a day, or even, it's not even really a day, is it? But it's a few hours of a day.
Yeah.
So enjoy it as much as possible. If you can, don't be like us and not figure out some sort of budget. And I think another thing that we did from the big after we enjoyed our engagement is how would I phrase it? What we wanted our day to look like.
Oh yeah.
So that's all documented down.
Okay, fine.
And how did I do it? It's almost like it might be extra, but I felt like that was what was gonna, because we're planning it, that was what was gonna help. So we've written down everything that we would want at the wedding, how we want people to feel when they come, all of that kind of stuff.
Dope.
So if you've got the time, try and do that. Yeah. And then that's kind of what you're working with to plan. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, because that's the question I always ask is like, what kind of vibe are you wanting on the wedding day? And I don't think a lot of people think about that.
No, we thought about that a lot.
Yeah. That's dope. Yeah, because that will really help you when it comes to like,
it does
that vendor fit into this vision
right,
of the day?
Right. Because if you want a chilled vibe and then you've got an MC that's kind of like quite vibrant and it's just like, it's not really fitting in.
Like,
yeah.
I hear that. Yeah, so that's actually a brilliant piece of advice.
I wanted to say more, but I didn't know what else to say. I was going to talk about the engagement, but
what was you going to say about engagement?
I was going to say how I proposed, but it's maybe.
Yeah, go on. What's the role? We can add it in somewhere.
Because I planned that.
Okay.
Like, that's true. Also, they use vendors.
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I planned that. I had an idea of what I wanted, what Nerteley wanted, and to be honest, that helps. That it just helps, like planning it, because I don't. Obviously, I'm sure, like guys think about how they're going to propose and stuff, but it helped to plan it. I wrote everything down, so I was kind of the you in that. Write everything down, plan the day. Got help with the ring as well. Share the ring. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this story, but just helping, having people to talk to when you're planning it, and then obviously now we're here. So.
Yeah.
What drove the decisions that you made in terms of like how you were going to do it? Was that based on like stuff that you'd heard she wanted or stuff that you knew she wanted?
Yeah, I think speaking to your sister helped.
Okay.
So I knew like the ring Nerteley wanted. I knew how she wanted to be proposed to, in the sense of like not having too many people around. But then I wanted to tie that in with having our family there, so I had to thought of a way of how to incorporate it too. So
how did you do that?
So the proposal was just us with our videographer, and then I surprised her afterwards. We went to dinner, and then our families.
Everyone was there. Okay, so. Perfect. Nice.
Yeah.
Was it how you would have wanted it to be?
Yeah, it was. It was just thinking back, like you're just thinking, how did I not put two and two together? So I think you did very well, because I think it's very hard to surprise me.
Yeah. Oh, you missed it.
So there were certain things, but I made sense of them, if that makes sense.
Okay,
so
fine. Okay.
There were certain things that, like, my sister's friend called me and was like, "Oh, do you want to go out for brunch the morning?" Like, I think it was the Saturday morning. So it was a Saturday, isn't it? Yeah, the morning of. I was like, why should I asking me randomly? But then my birthday was 2 days after. Okay. So I thought maybe it's because she wasn't available on the day and she just wanted to meet up with me. So things like that, not knowing that she was just,
block out some time.
Yeah, like buying time, because she was part of the team trying to get everything sorted. So it was just little things, and then how, what to wear. So I was told a lie about where I was going. So that prepared me to kind of dress up.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of these different things that I probably should have just been like, what's going on? I just didn't have a clue. So from the video, you see the way I'm crying. The tears are just,
tears.
Ugly
Wonderful.
crying.
That's a win. That's a win.
Ugly crying.
That was a nice moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like, it's nice, like after you put the plan together, the vision, you thought about it, you pulled these people together, and then you get that reaction.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think I'm looking forward to proposing to somebody, man.
Oh.
For that.
Talk to us. How's your situation?
I'm single at the moment, so I'm a long way
single?
off. Yeah, I'm a long way off that, but yeah, when that time comes, I think that's one thing I'm looking forward
You're
to.
a long way off. What do you mean by that?
As in, I'm still single.
Oh,
so
okay. I thought you meant like you don't want to meet anyone.
Oh no. I do, but
sure that person's watching right now.
It's possible. Yeah, man, we'll see where we get to. But yeah, definitely, looking forward to that, like getting married in the process and stuff. Yeah, everyone's always like, oh, because you do weddings, they don't like feel the pressure and stuff.
Yeah.
Nah. I feel like, but I love love in general. So like,
Okay.
I'm just like when I'm at weddings and I'm just seeing the couple happy and enjoying, like, that's satisfaction enough for me.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, obviously, it'd be nice to.
So do you know who your vendors will be when you get married? Like, who's going to be your MC?
I know who my MC is going to be.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
I know who my MC is going to be. It's gonna be, Folly. I need to. I might even. I'm just putting a deposit and say, look, whenever the time is ready, just hold the date.
Make sure you secure the date. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple of vendors that I'm like, okay, cool. I know who that's gonna be. There's a couple where there's a few.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, I need to kind of whittle this down.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's easier for me because, like you said, the relationship thing is very important.
Yeah.
Of these people that I've worked with.
Yeah.
So that relationship is already there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some costs that like I don't necessarily work. Like cake people, I never see cake people. They each probably come set up the cake and leave before I get there.
Yeah.
So that's one where I've probably got no clue who I'm going to use for that.
Yeah. We didn't have a clue. But
Yeah.
met someone, so.
A lot of people have no,
Yeah.
because like cake vendors aren't really like as out there and visible as like
It's true. Yeah.
other stuff. Whereas like DJs, you might hear them out at a rave or something or someone's wedding. MCs, obviously at a wedding, you're going to see an MC.
Yeah.
You might like what they do, or you might just come across them online. I feel like how coordinators, how do you work out whether they're like good or not? Because obviously you don't really a lot of the work of a coordinator is not really something you can capture.
Yeah. Our one was a lot of Instagram came in for that.
Yeah.
And just looking at a lot of the videos and kind of seeing how they work. I think one of our things is how you work under pressure. Because what I didn't want is to have coordinators that I can see that there's an issue and I'm sitting trying to eat my meal and I can see there's a problem.
Panicking. Yeah, okay, fair.
But that was probably one of our hardest ones to select from. We spoke to a few, not that many, but selected maybe 4 or 5.
Okay. And
every one of them was really, really good.
Okay.
But then it came down to kind of how many times have you worked at our venue, how familiar you were with the venue,
okay,
and things like that. It was literally one of those things. And
really?
then it became the rapport. So the person that we went with, I had only spoken to them initially. So then I arranged another call with Ansbert and we both spoke to them. And that's kind of how we went with it. But that was a hard one.
Okay.
And didn't really know how to tell the others that we're not going with them.
Because at that point, you've had a lot of communications with them,
that was the hardest one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Fair. But yeah, I think that one's very important because they are literally kind of the glue that holds your day together.
Yeah. Almost felt like an interviewing process.
Yeah. But even like so you said about the pressure thing, but that's like sort of, it's a question you can ask, but you can have an interview answer for it, kind of.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So like, how do you, or is it just gut feeling?
I think I asked for examples, not going to lie.
Did you? Oh, okay,
I think
fine.
I think so.
Okay,
I think I did ask, have you got an example of when something's gone wrong?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Fine. Okay, good. Because I think we had a couple of coordinators on here, and then even I've seen it as well. There's sometimes there's things that happen on a wedding day that couple actually might never find out about.
Yeah.
Because they've just dealt with it, part of the fire, and got back to it, and it's just like, okay, they don't need to know this kind of thing.
Yeah.
They might tell them
afterwards, yeah.
But especially like on the day, I'm a believer of if something's gone wrong and been rectified on the day, there's no need to let the couple know on the day.
Yeah.
Because they just need to focus on enjoying themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Because some people can just like get lost and caught up in the details, and it's like, we're here. There's nothing you guys can actually do about this now. Just enjoy.
Yeah, it's true. It's so true.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, we're gonna add that in.
So I don't think there's anything else we could say before we go.
When you disagree on what vendors, if you want, I think there was one. We didn't disagree.
Yeah.
I just had a different
You both went to
vendor.
different people. How did you resolve
Because
it?
when you was answering about, you said that you kind of knew who you were going to go for, and what I was going to ask, which I forgot, was, okay, so when your fiance comes and they want somebody else, what?
Oh, for MC, no.
Yeah.
So is that you pick your battles in it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm an MC. I know the type of person I am.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I've got in mind the type of person that I want to marry.
Yeah.
The character that person would have would kind of
fit
align.
in.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
It's a good question though. I'm trying to think. There's other areas that maybe, I don't know, DJ, for example, I might have like a few ideas of, okay, cool. But then they might also have, because that's something that everyone can feel strongly on. I have no idea, you know. I haven't even considered that.
Yeah.
That's bad. I haven't even considered that.
Yeah, just because there are so many vendors, depending on what particular area you're looking at, that you might just have one person that you think, oh, this person would be great, and then you think someone else is. How do you can't toss a coin and be like,
yeah, it's tricky. Yeah, it's not one of those decisions that you can just make lightly, is it? So how did you resolve that one then?
Is it who
brought my case forward, isn't
it? Well, yeah, I had my case, you had your case. Just kind of let it happen.
Laid it all out, and then
again, I think it came down to who we are as people and how that vendor will understand us as people. And I think I asked the question, would that person understand us? Would they get our crowd? And all of that kind of stuff. And I think when I said that, that's when you were like...
Because it's more to do with, I guess, where the person is, how they relate to our culture from Ghana.
Yeah.
Okay, that's important as well.
Yeah.
So it's important.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that makes a big difference relating to the guests, because the guests are... Yeah. I mean, the couple are obviously the major part of it, but there's always they were bringing out a lot of people to celebrate with you, so they need to be very strongly considered as well.
I think another big one for people, obviously it wasn't an issue for us, but catering, if you're from two different cultures as well, it's like, how do you pick which caterer you're going with, you know?
That can be tricky.
We are very blessed because from the same country, same tribe, whatever. Yeah. So it wasn't a problem, Yeah,
that does make it easier. Because sometimes, obviously, you've got your cost per head. Sometimes when you're doing two cuisines, you have that basically that cost is doubled, kind of. Basically. And catering's one of the big ticket items as well. So it's like, we can't be doubling up
it's
here.
True.
But marrying the same culture makes that easier. I guess it makes it easier in some other aspects as well, no?
Being from the same...
Yeah.
Well, things like, I guess, traditional engagement, it's a lot easier because everyone knows what the deal is with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say.
I mean, it's no problem if you're not, but...
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But just more, I guess it's just maybe just more like to think about, I guess. Consider. No, dope. Got some additional gems in there. Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you for joining me. There were some gems in there, so I hope you guys enjoyed as well. It's another episode of Vendors Table. We are on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And yeah, join us next time for some more fun.